something next to parentheses, that means multiply. So it's 180 times the number of sides minus 2. So for example, if I look back at my triangle was 3 sides. So if I put 3 in there, 3 minus 2 would be 1, times 180 would be 180 degrees. And if I put 4 sides in there, 4 minus 2 is 2. Take that times 180, that gives me 360. So this formula helps me figure out for any number of sides what's the sum of all the angles going to be. So I could jump right to the octagon and put an 8 in there. 8 minus 2 is 6. Times 180 would make 1080. So I can always use this to find the angle sum of any regular polygon without having to sit there and keep adding 180 each time to my pattern. Okay, it allows me, I could then jump to a much larger shape and use that. All right, then if I want to find the measure of each angle, so each and every angle, notice this formula, it still has n for the number of sides. It looks very similar to this. So a is for the angle. Notice the top part of this fraction here is the same as this. So it wants you to first figure out the sum of all the angles, which is what we did up here, and then divide it by n, which n is your number of sides. So if I think back to doing this one where I put the 8 in there. 8 minus 2 was 6 times 180 gave me 1080. And then if I divide that by 8, that's going to give me my individual angle right there. All right, so let's use some practice of this for finding some angles. So it says to find the sum of the interior angles of a regular 26gon. Whew, that's a really big shape. So we don't want to sit here and follow this pattern 26 times till I get there. I want to use my formula. So it's the sum. So we're using this formula. So to find the sum, I'm doing 180 times, and then in parentheses, it's 26 sides minus 2. So I plug the 26 in where the n was. And then I just go ahead and solve that. So 26 minus 2 would be 24. Okay, times 180. Because remember, we do our parentheses first. And then 180 times 24, well, I got to grab my calculator for that. It would have been 4,320 degrees. Woo, that's a lot of degrees, but that's because there's so many sides. That's how many degrees all those angles add up to make around that 26gon. Okay, so that's the sum of the angles. Now the next one says find the measure of one angle in this 26gon. So we know the sum of all of them. So all I have to do to find each angle is to take that answer, my sum, which remember those match up, divide that by the number of angles. So I'm going to divide that by the 26 angles. Okay, and that's going to give me 166.2 degrees. All right, so these two formulas right here are what we can use when we have a regular polygon if we want to find the sum of all the angles and if we want to find each angle. Okay, so just the number of sides minus 2 times 180, and then split that by how many sides to find each of them. Box around that answer. All right, there we go.